Ze'ev, thanks so much for joining us once again here on The Watchman. Breaking news today, huge archaeological discovery in Jerusalem. Tell us what was found and why it is so important.
So today was one of those days when you just felt like you hit the jackpot. We announced this morning in the city of David, the place where Jerusalem began, an amazing archaeological discovery. One going back some 2,700 years. And what was found was a series of ancient royal capitals bearing the symbol most associated with the kingdom of Judah, the Davidic dynasty, going back to First Temple period Jerusalem, going back again thousands of years. Now, what is that symbol? For many of the Watchmen viewers, they may have visited Israel. And when you're in Israel, you see this symbol all over the place because this is the symbol that is found on the 5 shekel coin. Imagine like the $5 bill in the United States. So this is the symbol found on the 5 shekel coin. And the reason it's on Israel's currency is because this symbol is the symbol of the Davidic dynasty, of the kingdom of Judah, going back thousands of years, that was found in the royal palaces throughout the kingdom in Bible times. So imagine there's a challenge coin. The politicians give these things out. So here you can see the symbol of America, the eagle symbol. So imagine if, 1,000 years from now, 2,000 years from now, archaeologists are excavating Washington, D.C. or other parts of the United States, and they start finding, dating back to 1776 all the way through, however many centuries afterwards, and they keep finding this symbol, this eagle symbol, and they find it on buildings around the White House and other important government buildings throughout the country, and they wait a minute, like that's not just a regular symbol, that is the symbol of the United States of America. That was the official symbol. That's what we found today. That's what was discovered today. Essentially, that same type of symbol just for the Davidic dynasty thousands of years ago.
Yeah, and Ze'ev, clearly it has deep meaning. Now, just to give people an idea, think of a column or a pillar. This is basically a column head. And Ze'ev, talk about how they are so well preserved. Number one, they're pretty. You can see the ornate design. Number two, talk more about where they were found, where geographically in Jerusalem, and what the structure was in ancient times.
So what archaeologists believe happened here was this goes back to sometime between the period of King Hezekiah and King Josiah, 2 of the great kings of the Bible, of the Davidic dynasty. And during the time of Hezekiah, Jerusalem was saved from the Assyrian siege, and they begin to expand afterwards. What archaeologists believe was that during this expansion, Jerusalem extended not just from the city of David, but to the south, to the ridge of Armon HaNetziv, which is about a mile away from the city of David today. And it's about a mile away from the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem, also a place I know, Eric, that you've been. This is a place where Jerusalem was expanding to at that time, and they believe that there must have been some type of royal estate or administrative building that was built on this ridge overlooking the city of David, which stood for probably a good century or so before the Babylonians would ultimately come in and destroy Jerusalem. But what's amazing about these capitals that were found that sat on top of these pillars was that they were buried in perfect condition. Now, whether that means that there was some type of quarry in the area, or maybe they were extras that were going to be used in some future time, archaeologists don't understand why you have these 3 perfect royal capitals that were just buried in pristine condition. They don't have the answer for that, which is also exciting when it comes to archaeology. What happened 2,700 years ago? And what clues can we find that will help us unravel that mystery? What tools do we have at our disposal? The Bible, of course, definitely being one of them, that can help us understand what was happening in Jerusalem during Bible times. In this case, during the First Temple period. I bet for many of the viewers of The Watchmen, they don't need archaeological discoveries to affirm their faith. Whether or not we find something that says that there was a King David, there was a King Hezekiah, there was a prophet Isaiah, or so on, we believe, as people of faith, we believe that these things are true, that the Bible is God's word. At the same time, we are living in a generation where there is, on the one hand, unprecedented discovery, but also unprecedented denial of Jerusalem's biblical heritage, whether at the United Nations, whether by the Palestinians, whether by the Europeans on college campuses. And so we have a tradition in our faith that says that before God brings a sickness into the world, he creates the cure. And so we are living in a time, again, of unprecedented denial of Jerusalem's biblical heritage, of, in fact, the denial of the biblical heritage and rejection of the biblical heritage in general in so many parts of Western society and culture. And yet, at the same time, we have unprecedented discovery to show that so much of what's written in the Bible can, in fact, be affirmed, not simply as a matter of faith, but as a matter of fact.